The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, yesterday, not favored in the game at the Browns in Cleveland. The Bears were firmly in control of this game for the first half and even good portions of the third quarter and looked good. The defense looked incredible. Offense wasn't looking so good, but they were in control of the game going against Joe Flacco, a quarterback that was on the couch just a couple weeks ago. In November, he was on his couch watching TV, watching the NFL, eating Cheetos. Super Bowl winning quarterback MVP coming up now 11 years ago now at this point.
That's crazy.
I know, right? And then Joe Flacco got in the game and remembered that he was an MVP at one point. In the fourth quarter, everything fell apart. They come back and they take the lead. And let's just get right to the end of the game. Let's get to the Hail Mary, where the Bears had a chance to, it was 2017 right now at this point, clock ticking down. The Browns are up 3, and they could have kicked a really long field goal from there. Chose not to. Chose to go for a Hail Mary, and here's how it played out.
Flushed, looking, sets up, throwing deep. Hail Mary, end zone, deflected, tipped, and intercepted. Almost caught, and then it deflected.
Deflected. It landed in Darnell Mooney, who is a wide receiver. His job, Case?
To catch
the ball. It's very good. A very good guy to have the ball hit his hands in a Hail Mary situation where the ball bounced out. He landed on his back, which is actually a preferable position when the ball lands on you to grab it very easy. Bounced into his chest and clearly way out into the hands of a Cleveland player, intercepted the end zone. Game over. Bears lose.
It's never good when you play back that audio, the commentator that goes, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's never good when somebody who does this for a living, who sees everything, is even surprised by the result of what happened.
Let's hear it.
That's what happened.
Let's hear it again here.
Deflected, tipped, and intercepted. You never want to hear an announcer make that noise.
Almost caught by Darnell Mooney, which would have been a win. Now, I get it. It would have been like a 60-yard field goal. But today, NFL kickers are kicking 60-yard field goals every weekend, it feels like. And our guy's good, by the way. He was 55-plus. He's not missed from 55-plus all season. He hasn't taken that many from 55-plus, but the ones he hit him.
At the risk of sounding too X's and O's here, because we obviously, we focus on the emotion of the game. We're not trying to impress anybody with our football knowledge. My crux with Justin...
Nor could we.
My concern with Justin Fields as the Bears quarterback going forward is I just feel like a better quarterback would have gotten the team in field goal position to kick a shorter field goal so we didn't have to rely on a 60-yard Hail Mary. That's just where I'm at.
I disagree.
God, but we were close, huh?
Hey.
I'm like, look at him.
Hey.
Oh, that guy was probably so upset. It was in his hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Darnell Mooney after
Big
the game.
bummer on that
yeah,
one.
he said,
you were holding it.
He talked about afterward. He's like, it would have been nice. And then he did the same thing. We just talked about phrases you hate to hear that annoy you. And he gave us one of those. He goes, it would have been great. It's too bad. Well, it is what it is. He said it is what it is at the end of it. No, it's not. You could have caught the damn ball. That's what it was. And it's not, it is what it is.
What it could have been.
It could have been. You want to be an elite receiver, you get elite receiver money, and that's a perfect position for you to show yourself off. A Hail Mary is very rare to catch a Hail Mary.
So close.
There's been like 27.
What about to bobble it? What are the stats on bobbling? Hail Mary?
I know there's been 27 roughly caught in the NFL history in the modern era. I don't know about bobbling. Probably a whole bunch. Probably a ton of them.
Still probably hard.
Hundreds of them.
Still up there statistically.
Yeah. And again.
I'm like, that would have been the moment, huh?
And then earlier in the game, which was upsetting, when Robert Tonyan, the tight end, dropped a perfect 60-yard pass from Justin Fields to not get a touchdown before half.
That was bad.
It was in his hands, Kenzie. I don't know. I mean, right there. It's not like he had to reach for it. It landed in his hands.
No, I know.
And this is the frustrating part. And Case says maybe a better quarterback could have pulled it off. I disagree at this point because I'm so conflicted on Justin Fields. Sometimes he looks amazing. Sometimes he looks terrible. Like he doesn't know how to play football. And I don't know what you do at this point. You've got to draft a new quarterback. I think I've come to that conclusion finally over the weekend. And you can even, to extend Justin Fields.
Are you going to call the family or what are you going to do with that information?
You call them up.
I'm happy you finally figured this out.
Well, listen, I've walked into the lake for this team. I've gone up and got arrested by putting a real estate sign in front of the team. I've done a lot of things for the Bears.
Brought a sign to Soldier Field this year, trying to encourage people to not go in.
That's right.
They did not listen.
No one listened. I almost got punched in the face on that one by fans, not the team. Fans are still supporting it like that. But when they continue to disappoint.
Fans of the team, Brian.
I understand, but the dreck they were putting out there, how dare you go into that game? But listen, this game
You
was...
would have loved to go if you had tickets.
That's not true. Not true. I went home. I ate some cheese
It was
sticks.
like a few years ago when Gucci did something racist and like all these celebrities were posting. They're like, boycott Gucci. We're like, we're not buying. We can't afford it. Do you remember that? We're already, this is a you guys thing. You don't need to target us. We're not buying $15,000 shoes. The boycott, we got it. That's you. You're like, boycott things I can't afford. It's like, okay, yeah.
Listen, I could scrape together some money and get a ticket for the Bears game. I could probably pull that off.
Probably.
I have to go through, like, ask Megan our accounting on our Excel spreadsheet to see if I have money. I don't want to go to that. I can't sit through that. Not when they're putting this out there every day. And this was actually a good game. It was actually fun until then. Now,
Well, yeah, the ending was horrific, but up until that, it was fun.
I mean the fourth quarter fallout where Joe Flacco, who was on the couch a month ago, came back and just destroyed the Bears, and they forgot how to play defense. One positive. Let's go for a positive.
Ooh, what do you got?
Montez Sweat is legit.
Yeah.
They paid him $98 million. They traded for him for the Commanders. Right now, he's got NFL historic record. He is the leading sacker, leading in sacks on the Commanders where he played before, and the Bears. Right now, he's the leading sack getter for 2 NFL teams.
Well, Kenzie, what do you think about that?
The leading sack getter.
He gets those sacks, Kenzie.
I would be, I used to say that when a girl in high school. I didn't like him. But, no, I really wouldn't want my man called that.
A sack getter?
Yeah, the biggest sack getter there is. Like, hey, don't you talk about him like that.
Well, either way now, the Bears, who had playoff chances possibly, are now 5-9. They had to rely on other teams to lose like the Vikings, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen now. So there you go. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Thanks,
Jerry
Darnell.
Seinfeld has a great bit on It Is What It Is. Have you guys ever heard that?
No.
I have not.
I like when Jerry Seinfeld gets like mad because he's so even keeled, and he does this great thing where he's like, "That is the biggest waste of hot air in my face." Like he gets so mad about
Saying it
it.
is what it is?
Yes, he's
He's
like,
right.
it means nothing.
It doesn't mean
nothing
anything.
to my life.
Can you do that bit, but as a Seinfeld impression?
I don't know if I can do Jerry.
Give it a
Oh,
shot.
I got to hear this.
I don't even remember what he sounds like high pitched, kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah. Just go by your go by your memory.
You guys know how I am with high pitch. I don't know if I can. He's like, what a waste of air. I can't say high as my voice can go.
Okay, do it in lower pitch then, so you can do the impression. Like do it like how he might sound, but in a lower pitched voice.
It doesn't work.
Just
Listen
do-
how impressions work. How would he sound with a different voice?
No,
I'll just pick my voice.
his
What a
mannerisms.
horrible advice.
Come on.
His mannerisms. Why my hands are in the air, everybody. Hope
No,
you can
like
see
the
it.
way he sounds, the way he vocalizes words. He has accents in there.
I don't know. Pull him up. What does he sound like? I don't remember what.
I'll tell you what. We'll play
My
Shinedown.
Jerry Seinfeld mind bang.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay, you got 4 minutes. We'll play Shinedown. You got 4 minutes to come up with a Jerry Seinfeld impression.
Fine.
Okay, cool? Okay.
Fine, but I need to hear him.
I'll play a little bit of it for you during the
Okay.
song. Off the air. You won't hear that. You'll enjoy Shinedown right now if you're listening on Q101. Clash with Kenzie coming up and her Seinfeld impression.
Woohoo.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, it's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We'll get you a Clash with Kenzie on the phones in just a second. We were just doing sports, talking about the Bears' epic collapse. And Darnell Mooney, after the game, who dropped the ball on the Hail Mary, could have caught it. Would have been a great day today. Would have been amazing.
But he didn't. Happy Monday. Do.
That's what we would have done. Instead, it's this. And because he said after the game, look, it would have been great to catch that ball, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Kenzie brought the Seinfeld bit where
It's
he...
my favorite. It's one of my favorite Seinfeld bits.
Here it is.
We like to give our thoughts, our comments, our opinions. Sometimes we run out of opinions. We make them up. It is what it is a very popular opinion statement. Nowadays, I'm sure some idiot said it to you today.
Darnell
You
Mooney.
can't get through a day without somebody going, "Well, it is what it is." Why are you alive?
We
To
need that to be a
just say
drop.
air words that fill the room with meaningless sounds. I'd rather someone blew clear air into my face than said it is what it is to me one more time. Just come up to me and go, because I get the same data from that.
There's the impression, Kenzie, right there.
People like to say those kinds of things. It is what it is. You see, if you repeat a word twice in a sentence, you can say that with a lot of confidence. Business is business. Rules are rules. Deal's a deal. When we go in there, as long as we know what's what and who's who, Whatever happens, happens, and it is what it is.
Thank you, Jerry.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Flash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
Let's go. It's Monday, and Mount Joy tickets for the Salt Shed in a few weeks. Saturday, December 30th. Don't have any plans for New Year's Eve weekend. Well, that'd be awesome at the Salt Shed, Mount Joy, and it's from the Salt Shed and our great friends there. And, of course, Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Brandon checking in from Lockport, going to compete against Kenzie today. Brandon, ahoy. Tell us something really quick about yourself.
I'm a truck driver for a rendering service, so I just pick up the bad meat and stuff from, like, grocery stores and stuff.
Right on.
Oh, what do you do with it?
They do, I bring it back to my work, and they actually repurpose it. They actually make, like, dog and cat food and stuff with it.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Wow.
not wasted.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Helping out the environment.
Yep.
Are you helping out the environment?
Or society.
Society. There we go.
I mean,
Well, yeah, because
Little
waste
bit
is
of both.
bad.
Okay, all
I
right.
mean, if you went and got new meat, now you'd be like affecting more animal. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you sold me on it.
There you go.
we don't waste food in this house.
No, you don't.
No, we do
Period.
not.
Brian does not.
No. I eat stuff off the floor. Harper just throws
What?
things on the
What
floor.
was that?
Harper just throws some of her food off the
What do you
floor.
do
She
on the
picks one and she eats another and then throws it on the floor and I eat it up.
And then you get on all fours and eat off the floor?
Yep. It's got to get eaten.
That's what she said.
All right, Brandon. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Call it.
Heads.
It is heads. Brandon, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, Brandon. What sports lingo uses the term mulligan? What sport?
That would be,
3,
I believe,
2, 1.
soccer?
What'd you say?
Soccer?
Soccer is not right. Kenzie, do you know?
Golf.
It is golf. Need a mulligan on that one. Guys like not counting the mulligans all the time. We go golfing.
I don't know what it means, but I know they say it.
So a lot of times they'll play golf and they'll say like, hey guys, we're playing 18 holes. How about one mulligan this round? Cool. That means you get to shoot one shot over and it doesn't count to your score.
It would have just been funny if someone's like, listen, one mulligan. I would have been like, okay, I would have like tried to order that. We'll take one mulligan.
Can I have the mulligan with a lime? All right. Let's see here. It's back to Kenzie.
Yes, 1-0.
Kenzie, what city is home to TV's Golden Girls?
Miami.
That is Miami. That's right. Good job. 2-0. Brandon, you got to get this one. Brandon?
Okay.
Knots are used to measure the speed of what?
Ships?
Ships is right. Good job. Kenzie, what soda is caffeine-free and grapefruit flavored?
Oh, every grandma's favorite. That would be Squirt.
Why is that every grandma's favorite?
I think about Squirt. Where is it at?
You know
Your
what?
grandma's house, period.
It's in our vending machine. I don't know why it's taking up a slot, but we have Squirt in there.
Yeah, I don't think they have to refill it very often, but it's always, I don't know, for me growing up, like that's like a grandma's house beverage. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Not at your guys' grandma?
My grandma was a Diet Right drinker.
Remember Tab?
Yeah.
My grandmother had Tab.
Okay, yeah.
Which they found out had like saccharin that causes cancer.
It sucks.
It really went away fast when they found that out. It's like
Oh, that'll do it.
they got it off the shelves pretty quick.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Every grandma has a drink. They've
Yeah.
all got the one they like.
Yeah.
My grandma used to, I don't know why, but when she was babysitting us, she used to give us coffee, one.
How old were you?
When she'd put amaretto in it, like alcohol amaretto in our coffee. And like I was like first grade, kindergarten, like we'd always have amaretto on coffee. And I was telling the story to my husband and she was there. She goes, I did not give you alcohol. And I'm like, yeah, you did. And she's like, no. And then my brother was there and I go, Keaton did it? And she goes, maybe once. And she like interrupted me instantly, but she always like give us spiked coffee. I don't know.
God, she's on the witness stand there with your brother like sent her over the edge. Oh, maybe once.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it was every time, but that's fine.
Brandon, what did your grandmother have at her house? What drink?
She used to always drink RC all the time.
Oh, RC Cola.
Very Chicago. Yeah.
There you go.
Good
All
stuff.
right. 3-1. It's back to Brandon.
Brandon, what is the official state dessert of Massachusetts?
Would that be pie?
Be more specific, please.
Apple pie?
No, it's not apple pie. Sorry.
It is not. It's Boston cream.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
Boston cream. Yeah, there you go. Good job, Kenzie. Boston cream pie. Oh, boy. 4-1.
There
4-1.
Oh, boy.
4-1, and back to Kenzie. She can win with a correct answer.
Oh, crap. Well, somebody was talking about going to see the 4K version of Willy Wonka over the weekend when they said their highlight of the weekend. Who plays Willy Wonka in the 2023 adaptation of Wonka?
Is it me?
It's you.
Okay, Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet, right. Oh, boy.
I want to jump the gun there. I couldn't remember his beard.
It's very good. Very orderly.
Thank you.
Brandon, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just had a fun time playing with you guys.
Oh,
Did ya?
You're so sweet. What? You guys are looking at me? Fine, give them tickets. I know what you're waiting for me to do. Give them the Mountjoy tickets.
It's Christmas week.
Yes.
We promise in January you're not going to be doing this, right? We're not just giving when they lose, give them tickets or no? What do you think?
I don't know. We'll see. Depends if they're sassy or not.
Okay, well, Brandon's been trying to get through for like months, apparently.
That's right.
And it's Christmas.
And it's Christmas. So, Brandon, you got the tickets, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Congrats, bud.
The Q101 Morning Crew's Clash with Kenzie.
On Q101.
Why is your family weird? Hit us up right now, 312-591-8300.
Well, that's a loaded question.
anything in the realm of possibility of weird. We have a story that relates to it, but we'll get to your family. Why it's weird. 312-591-8300.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. I believe on the text line we have the woman whose uncle came up with squirt. That's Angela checking in.
No way. That sounds like a line from Mean Girls. My father, the inventor of toaster strum.
Oh, that's so good. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We kind of believe people when you text in sometimes. We can do the research, give us a last name, we'll check in on it. But that was one of the trivia questions today was squirt. So there you go. Maybe it's a Chicago-based thing.
I don't know.
Yeah. 312-591-8300. Why is your family weird? And this relates to a story I saw over the weekend about, and it's got a happy ending, where stories like this typically or sometimes don't, that a kid that went missing for 6 years in England was just found walking down the street with a skateboard in France. And he's now like 17 years old. He was...
When did he go missing?
6 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, and he went missing. Now, it turned out that his mom and his grandfather on his mom's side became these like huge survivalists and wanted to go off the grid. So they took the kid away from the dad and the rest of the family and just disappeared. And
That sounds illegal.
Well, it's very illegal. Okay. And also terrifying for the people that are left behind. They don't know what happened. That's got to ruin their lives.
What's I like? I think a text would have been good. So they don't think something horrible happened to them.
They got rid of all their phones. They got rid of everything, anything electronic, and they lived literally off the grid for the last 6 years, like nothing, in the middle of the French wilderness, I guess you'd call it. They actually carried their own solar panels around. They grew their own food. They lived
on their back?
I guess they did.
What do you mean they carry their own solar?
It says they carried their own solar panels.
And to power what? They don't have phones or anything, nothing electronic.
They didn't have that. I guess they had things to cook. So like some kind of things that could power like a cooking device when they were living that way. They didn't, but they were off the grid as far as electricity. So the solar panels did that part. And they lived with other families. They meditated. They contemplated reincarnation.
Oh, my God. He was kidnapped. This sounds awful.
Kind of. I guess he was all on board when he was young, but then he's like 17 now. He's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So he walked away. He just left it, and then they found him on the road. He's doing okay, I guess, now in custody, getting back to his other family because the mom and her dad wanted to live off the grid. So he's doing okay. I know, wild. I'm glad it's kind of a happy ending.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you find out that your kid hadn't been harmed that whole time and is now coming back into your life, that's nice.
I guess he was into it. But then he's like, well, wait a minute. This sucks, actually.
Well, 10-years are into anything. That's not how you package it.
You can talk him into it?
You're like, whoa, we're playing fort with this box. Like, they get excited. It's not a tough sell.
Climb up that tree and get a berry. It's a race.
It's an adventure. So, like, when my son doesn't want to go up the stairs, I'm like, well, last one upstairs is a loser. And then all of a sudden he darts up the stairs. All right, good. And it's bedtime.
That's a great game. I'm going to start playing that with Megan.
Oh, yeah.
Last one's a loser.
He does not. He's like, you're a loser. I'm like, am I? Because I just won big time.
He says it like right from his bedroom door. Last one he's already up there, just right by the door.
Yep. I'm like, perfect. Hop on in.
Well, why is your family weird? That's the question I want to throw out there. 312-591-8300. Can be anything related to just something that was weird, that was different about your family on the streets. Like, for example, this is something very small, but my dad did not want to be recognized at restaurants in any way, or not that he was a celebrity, but he didn't.
What do you mean?
He didn't want to give out his name. He was very OCD. I have OCD as well. He thought if you put your name out there, that someone was going to steal your identity and credit card information and all that.
This sounds like the movie The Family Plan. Was your father previously an assassin?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I found that out today.
Because that's like Mark Wahlberg in The Family Plan, like this nice big family guy. He has a big family, but he was previously an assassin. So it's like, no social media, no this. And he was all weird.
My dad did hate social media. My dad said 13 years ago, social media is going to destroy the world. Yeah. And I was like, Dad, shut up. And he's like, well, he was right.
You were knee deep in MySpace at that point, though. It was hard to get you away from anything.
Dad, shut up. I'm trying to make my top 8.
You're trying to find enough people to put in the top 8, right?
Just one more one more friend request. I can get in there.
I only know 6 people. Sucks.
Dad, can you get on MySpace so you can be in my top 8?
Oh, my God.
He was right. So when we go to restaurants, my last name is Haddad. He wouldn't say that. He'd say, table for 6 for Stevens. He called himself
Stevens.
He used the last name Stevens.
Yeah, he didn't want people knowing your last name specifically. He was kind of worried about that, right?
Yeah, he was worried about Haddad and people being racist against it. It's a Lebanese name, Arabic name. And he's like, so he was always saying that because he was...
Oh, people hated you for a totally different reason, though. He didn't even get it.
Very good.
He didn't realize.
One more reason. Yeah, he tried not to pile on with the old, he got discriminated against when he was a kid, so he didn't want to.
It has nothing to do with his last name.
Yep.
We just don't like him.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah. But he used to use Stevens all the time, and then we see
Stevens.
And then we see our friends, like kids in our neighborhood at the same restaurant. It was called Bill Knapp's. It was like a family restaurant. And they go, table for Stevens, and we get up. And then my friends and his dad looked at us, and they go, are they assassins? Are they secret? What the hell? That's not his name. And they're getting up to go sit at the table. We thought I was like a liar. We lied our whole lives. It was a very weird situation to be in. And
you should have asked more questions.
That was it. He just didn't want to use the name out there publicly.
Yeah, that's such a guy version of a story. No, it's just what he wanted. Yeah, but why did he want it?
Because he was so fearful of just somebody knowing our name. It was very odd.
I understand that, Brian.
Okay.
You don't think it's weird? You don't think there's
I do
more
think it's
details?
weird. I think it's really weird.
The question then following that answer is, but why would it be bad if someone knew our last name? You are like, mystery solved. He doesn't want people to know. It's like, but why?
But do you think at 11 years old, I'm going to ask my dad that?
He must have hated your career. He tried to hide you your whole life. You're like, I'm going to go on the radio with it.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about it now. It's therapy.
This is his nightmare.
I thought we were in the tree of trust.
We are. He was mad at you for spinning records on the radio. That's the problem.
And using your name. He's like, you're Brian Stevens.
You know what? You know what? I didn't use this name until recently. I mean,
sludgy sludge.
I was sludgy sludge in your words. I was like Brian Lewis at one time. I was Lightning Rod Lewis. I used weird.
What?
Yeah, I used Lightning Rod.
Kids, did you not know about
that? When were you Lightning Rod Lewis?
When I did a metal radio show. I was
Where?
In Cincinnati.
I'm sorry. Where did Lewis come from?
Because I used Brian Lewis, and then I changed it to Lightning Rod, but I wanted to keep some kind of bass, so I kept Lewis.
But why did you change it to Lewis?
I don't know. I just wanted a name.
And what was a lightning rod about you?
Well, come over to this side of the console and I'll show you.
I don't want to.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Talking about why your family's weird. Check in 312-591-8300. Maya checked in and said, growing up first generation Serbian American, my family would slaughter sheep and lamb in the driveway. And then my grandma would take the wool and insulate all of our jackets with the wool.
I love resourceful AF. I love it.
I'm telling you. And then they ate the eyeballs for good luck, she said.
You gotta do it.
You gotta do, you don't.
I hope they fried them or something.
No, fried eyeballs, delicious.
I don't know if I wouldn't raw dog the eyeball, but
Ew.
Amen, sister.
a little sauce on it or something, maybe.
So it's not like sushi, the eyeball.
I wouldn't raw eyeballs, not for me. Maybe a little saute.
Yeah. Put some onions in there.
Oh yeah, a little garlic. Absolutely.
That's Christmas Eve dinner.
Period.
Oh man. Why's you have anything like that, Kenzie? Why's your family weird? I just put out why my dad just hid our name from everybody for our whole life.
You know what's weird about my dad and like my parents' relationship? So first off, my dad has easily owned over 100 cars.
Okay.
Which I think is weird.
That's weird.
He constantly, like, it's like he gets jittery. I don't know if it's an addiction or what, but he's like on Craigslist and he's selling his car and buying another one. And he's selling his car and he's buying another one. And he's selling, and sometimes they're the ugliest cars ever. I'm like, I don't know why you got this one. And he's like, well, because of the deal and the money he can make on the, like, he just does these weird things. And my dad's very quirky. And he used to go out every night. And you're going to be like, your dad was having an affair. He's not. You don't understand. The obsession my father has with my mother is like he's blown away by her. Like to this day. They've been married for over 30 years. He used to leave every night just for like hours. And like he needed like a mental break from his family. And like we always knew like it'd be like 2 a.m. and like dad was out. And, like, no, my mom didn't even care. She's like, he's probably at like Walmart. And he was. Like I would bump into him there as a teenager.
And he were you around at 2 a.m. at Walmart too?
Yeah.
Wait, he did it every night?
Every night he left.
Wow.
We got a little bit of an explanation because a couple, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, we had a heart attack. And the doctor's like, are you a smoker? And he's like, no. And he goes, I can tell you're a smoker. I'm aware you're smoking.
You want to try again?
Yeah.
You have black lung disease.
Yeah, so I think he went out to like hide smoking every single night. But it was just like the weirdest. People would be like, your dad's still gone? Like if I was having sleepovers, it was 3 a.m. and we're like giggling. My dad would just come home with like Taco Bell.
All right, that's weird. Oh, that's nice.
Isn't it weird?
At least he came home with Taco Bell.
Well, for himself. He didn't share.
He didn't come home for everybody. That's too bad.
No, but it was always just like a weird setup but no one was worried about it. Like if my husband was out till 3 a.m. every night.
Yeah. I know.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, it wouldn't work.
You don't like when he plays baseball once a week.
No.
Tony texted in, your dad's running heroin.
Yeah. Trust me, I wish, because the money we would have had.
Oh, good Lord.
I don't think it was a side gig, I'll tell you that, because the money stayed the same.
Oh, text in and why your family is weird. 312-591-8300. Case, why is your family weird?
Well, because we don't spend a lot of time with each other. You know, like I'm going to go home for Christmas next week and we're just going to sit in separate rooms.
That's so weird.
And then like text each other stuff while we're in the same house. My dad goes on a lot of vacations by himself. He doesn't bring his wife, my mother, with him.
Yeah, that's funny that he likes bears, if you've never heard the show before. And then he goes off to like Montana to look at bears.
Yeah, he'll go to national parks just by himself. And sometimes my mom's allowed to go, sometimes she's not.
Serial killer.
And it's just, but like, I get it. Like, I would love to go on a vacation just by myself. That sounds great. We all like our own space. But I'm learning that most people's families are not like that. That they do things together.
Right.
And we just all we all have our own different thing.
Well,
and
I think,
like my family, but we don't glom onto each other.
Well, I think some families don't get together at all, and then some get together a lot and they love each other. What's weird about yours is you guys get together and then you don't do anything together.
That's right.
That's the weird thing.
The weird thing is, it's not like they hate each other. Like some people,
right?
They're like, listen, I don't like it because my mom is schizophrenic or my dad's an alcoholic. Like I get it, right? Like that's not an enjoyable experience. You have a lovely family.
Yeah, they're great.
But you don't want to hang out with them.
Well, it's not that I don't want to hang out with them. It's just like we run out of stuff to do together.
Why don't you plan some activities?
But that's the thing. It's always like, then what are we going to do? Because the four of us together, it's me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. There's just not activities that the four of us are like, yep, that's the thing we all like to do. Yeah. We'll all go out. If there's like a Star Wars movie out in theaters, we'll go see that. But that's really about it. There's just not anything that the four of us like to do.
The interesting thing about Case is he's under the impression that everyone has to love the activity equally. I would argue that 98% of the things I do with my family, like my husband and child, and my family, like parents and siblings, I'm not a fan of. Like, you're just doing it to be with your family.
Yeah, but I get weird about that in general because I go do a lot of things. Like, I went to a concert on Friday without my girlfriend. I do that a lot because she's not like super into it. Like, she would have gone and she would have had an okay time, but I don't want to bring people to things that they don't love, then I feel guilty about it. I'd rather just do it by myself and enjoy it on my own terms.
Yeah.
I don't like dragging people to things.
You're so like, I can't believe you could be so alone all the time.
Oh, it's so being alone is so easy.
I'm fine with being alone, but like I like to invite people I care about to things.
Well, Casey's family doesn't.
I know.
No, I would never, I don't ever want to make anybody go to anything that they're like not stoked on. It doesn't hurt if you don't want to go, that doesn't hurt my feelings. That's fine.
Really? You bitch at me every time I don't want to go to something?
I'm talking about work 6 to 10 a.m.
You're like,
Coming to the job.
24/7.
312 texted in asking about why your family's weird, because this is what happens in the week I get together. Growing up, my family only moved at night. And they didn't want the neighbors knowing what we had. Now that's perfect. That's a winner.
That's what your dad would do.
That's my dad right there. We're going to move at 2 a.m. so they can't see our ratty old couch that's falling apart, that's plaid. Holy cow. Oh, my God. That is so perfect.
What? You're moving away from those neighbors, so why does it matter?
They don't want the new neighbors to know what they have.
Oh, my God.
Keep these coming in. 312-591-8300. Why is your family weird?
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.